Hi, this is Eileen Gonzalez from Life According to Me. I want to talk about negativity today. Now, let me tell you something. We all face it. It doesn't matter where we are in our lives. We all have moments in where the voices in our heads, they keep on reminding us of what we've done, what we've seen. And sometimes we want things in our lives to change, to get better. But because things don't happen as fast as we want them, it allows us to fall back and to remind ourselves that things we're not as good and might not be able to get better. Now that's all a lie. That's all a lie that our mind tells us. Why? Because we're programmed. We are already programmed with all the negativity, all the bad experiences, and all that just sits there. I actually wrote a post yesterday regarding the way our subconscious mind works, because it absorbs everything and it just stores it. And when something goes wrong, all that information just comes right back and it just says, you see, it's not going to change. Life is always going to be as bad as it used to be. You have no hope. That's something that we can change. But for us to be able to change it, we need to understand it. We need to understand exactly what it is that we're feeling. What is holding us back? What are we fearful in the future? Now, for that, we need to do a little homework. For that, we need to get clear. We need to get a clear understanding of who we are, where we've been, what we've seen, why it hurt us so bad. And also understand that today we are living in residual effects. We're living with the results of the past, but those results, they're not going to define our future. What defines our future is how we react today, the choices that we make today. That's why it's so important for us to become clear, for us to be able to understand our lives, and for us to define where it is that we want to be. After you define where we want to be, you need to then set out a course in action, basically prepare yourself. Why? Because everything you do right now is what's going to create that better future. Those voices, we're always going to hear them. I hear them too. Those memories, they're always going to pop up. But just because they pop up doesn't mean that they have to control us. We can change that. We need to understand why we're being so negative, what we're holding on to, and we need to basically let go. Now, I know that sounds a lot easier than what it is. Trust me, it took me a long time for me to be able to come clean with myself. As I've said many, many times, 3.5 years from the moment that I learned what I needed to do to when it all of a sudden it clicked. All of a sudden that snapped in my head. 3.5 years, that's a long time. And I can tell you, I was ready to give up many, many times. Why? Because nothing that I was doing seemed to be working, or so I thought. We deserve better. But the only way that we're going to get better is by taking care of ourselves, by learning to understand who we are. We all go through problems. We all have issues. Get clear on what that is. Negativity, sometimes you've been taught that way. Sometimes your life just ended up in a place that you didn't want to be, and that caused you to absorb that negativity. It's your exposure, your experiences. The heartache, it's so difficult for us to get rid of the pain. But we can control how it affects us. There will always be painful events in our lives. Now, when we look back, we think back on them and we know we can actually relive that moment. But we can get better. We can get stronger. But for that, you need to work on self. Negativity is something that we need to control. It's something that we cannot allow to continue to affect us. Because when we live with negativity, everything that we create, everything that we attract is negative. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Put yourself first. Know that you are worth it. And the only way that you're going to get what you deserve is by putting yourself first. Take care.